What is happening today, my More Squad? We are back with episode 12 of Talk More Sports, hosted by me, your main man, Hudson Moore. All right, y'all, if you have not watched my recent TikTok page, it was my post game recap of the first game of the Seattle Seahawks 2025 preseason game home opener against the Las Vegas Raiders. And now today, we're just going to be going down what I think about the rookies, what our play calling look like, and kind of what our tone of the actual regular season is going to be looking like for our 2025 Seattle Seahawks. So, with that being said, we're just going to dive right into it, all right, y'all? So, as I just said, it was our home opener of our first preseason game of the 2025 season for our Seattle Seahawks at Lumen Field against the Las Vegas Raiders that ended in a tie 23-23 on Thursday. So, again, it's preseason, right? It's the first game. We're playing all rookies. Mike McDonald confirmed this past week that he was not going to play any of the starters, which I think is a very smart move. Even though Pete Carroll, head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, wanted to play all his starters, to each their own. Every coach wants to do their own philosophy, whatever. But not the smartest move, truly not, because it's only the first game of the preseason, right? It's not game three. It's not the final game. It's the first game of the preseason. An exact month is not until the season starts, so you have a long ways to go still. But nonetheless, I still think it was a great thing for Mike McDonald not to start any of the starters and just have all the rookies, all the guys fighting for a spot on the roster to make their move and to make their name out there. What's my biggest takeaway? Torrey Horton, wide receiver, number 15 from Colorado State. See, this kid might have been the steal of the draft. Now, we heard a lot about our tight end, Elijah Aurora, right? Damian Martinez, running back. Jalen Milroe, quarterback. But Torrey Horn, man, all of a sudden, he's just come out of nowhere in the Seattle Seahawks training camp. I mean, play after play, they're just giving nothing but this kid but praise. Seriously, I was at the game. The way this kid was moving, he looked like a 5, 6 year veteran. Like he just knows what to do. I'm seeing a little bit of a Doug Baldwin slash Jermaine Kearse together if they had a baby, right? The way he's moving with the ball, without the ball, his route running, it looks so flawless. It looks so effortless to him. And again, I mean, his first game preseason, he ended with 3 catches, 31 receiving yards, and a TD. But nonetheless, it's only his first preseason game. It's not really technically his first NFL debut in a regular season game. And I think he's really making a gun at MVS's third starting position at wide receiver. I think he might take that third spot. I think he'd be right up there with Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think Torrey Horn could be the third wide receiver for us. Third starting. I truly believe so. I'm looking at this kid and it just looks easy out there for him. Let's not forget his last 2 real seasons with Colorado State, he had over 1,100 plus yards receiving. So this kid knows how to ball out. He's consistent. Now, I'm not saying this kid is going to go out and be kind of like a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, right? Rookie year, 14, 1,500 yards receiving, rookie records. I'm not saying he's going to be that because, again, we got Cooper Kupp, we got Jackson Smith. We need to keep elevating those guys' ability because they're our top two best receivers, our top two best playmakers. So we need to keep elevating them. But still, we could put Torrey Horn in the mix right there. I I think we can. I truly believe so. I mean, why not? He's a rookie. Let's develop him early. And after all, we do got a new quarterback with Sam Darnold, so maybe there's something about him with Torrey Horn that he will like too. Now, I'm not saying focus on Jackson and Cooper Kupp, but Torrey could be right there in the mix as well. Why not? I mean, we have so much in our disposal. Let's use it to our advantage, right? I truly believe we should. And so, what I saw from Torrey Horn, I think this kid is going to be, he could be a top 15 receiver. Top 10, not right now, but I'm looking at him. He looks like a solid top 15 if we develop him right. And probably quickly, if his cards play right, top 10. I He doesn't give me top 5 in my book. Now, of course, he can easily prove me wrong. And of course, me being a Seattle Seahawks fan, I will never be upset about that at all. But right now, just looking at all the other receivers in the NFL, even the ones on our team, top 15 would be solid. That would be very solid. I would have no problem with that, especially in his first year or two. That's great. That's exactly what we want, right? Because Jackson's our future. Cooper most likely could be coming to the end of his career next couple of years, and then we got Torrey Horn right there upcoming. Yeah. So I think Horn. I think he made a name for himself in his first preseason game at Lumen Field, which is even better too. So I think moving forward, whoever the quarterback is for these next two preseason games, whether it be Drew Lock or Jalen Milroe, focus on giving him the ball a little bit more, just a little bit more. Let's see what this kid could really, really do. So I'm very happy with Torrey, man. I think he might be the steal of the draft. I mean, we talk about Greg Zebel, right? Elijah Aurora, even Nick Amari, but still, Torrey Horn, man, this kid is something special, and I cannot wait to see what he does with Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith. Now, we think about wide receivers. We then think about the quarterback. Drew Lock started the first half of the season, first half of the game, throwing for, give me 1 second, 147 passing yards, 12 for 22 completions, and a TD and an interception. Now, when we think about Drew Lock, we thought this kid was going to be something special. Now, I'm not saying he's no scrub. He's got the arm. It's just the accuracy was always a problem with this kid. If his accuracy was on board, this kid could have easily been a top 10 quarterback. 100%. No doubt about it. I truly believe that because he's got that arm. He's got a cannon for an arm. I'm telling you, man. When this kid throws, it looks like it's going to be a bomb every single time. But the accuracy was just always off. Reasons why I just didn't work out with him in Denver. But still, first half of the game, it looked solid. He still looked comfortable out there. But does that mean he's going to be kind of like a future backup? No, I think with Jalen Milroe, because we think of him as our future quarterback, Drew Luck most likely will be our third string. But, of course, the kind of comparison that him and Jalen Milroe had in their game, because, again, Jalen Milroe came in second half of the game, throwing for 61 yards and 6 for 10 for completions. Now, granted, he's a rookie. It was his very, very first NFL game, quote unquote. Drew Luck's had 4+ years. So obviously there's a difference of like how you handle the spotlight. But I think for Jalen Milroe, he just looked comfortable. I'm being honest. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at a Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts type of player. I mean, he looks comfortable. Now, granted, in that fourth quarter, what was it, that 4th and 1, when he tried to throw it, but everybody was saying he should have run it. Now, granted, I think he should have run it as well because, again, that's what he was known for in Alabama, for his legs, because his legs made up for a lot of his mistakes. Now, he has worked on his throwing. I've heard he's really worked on his accuracy, his passing game, which is a great thing because, hey, that's the same thing they talked about with Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. And look at them now. One's a 2-time MVP, and the other one just became a Super Bowl MVP. And they're always known for their running ability, but never their throwing. And now look at them now. So I think for Jalen Milroe, he's that kind of cat. If we just develop him right, and if he wants to get better at it, he can maybe be that kind of next Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts type of player. I mean, he's big, he's strong, and he's very fast. For a quarterback running a 4.37, oh my goodness. I mean, seriously, if he just works on his throwing ability and accuracy, this kid will be unstoppable. And also, it makes up for it a little bit too because history has shown the last 10+ years that our offensive line have never been one of the best, obviously. So to have a guy like Jalen Milroe, it makes up for a lot of it. Because think about it, we had Russell Wilson, and that dude was like 5'10", 5'11", and Jalen Milroe was like 6'2", 6'3". So already right there, it's just already a big difference too. So I think with Jalen Milroe, nobody should sweat anything. It was his first game. He just looked comfortable. There were some big time plays, big time runs where I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Bama Milroe that I remember watching the past 2 years. Though that is Bama Milroe. And that got me so excited because I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be seeing so much of that in the future with the Seattle Seahawks, and that makes me excited. Now, his throwing ability, too, looked very good. I mean, he looked comfortable, especially when he's running out of the pocket and still found his target and threw it. He just looked like he knew what he was doing. I got to say, our offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, there's something about every play, or almost every play I saw, even though it's preseason, right? We're going up against second, third string players as well on the opposite side with Las Vegas. But there was just something about Clint Kubiak's playmaking where it just looked very explosive. It looked like every play actually had a purpose. Whether it worked or not, you could almost see what they were trying to do. And if they were able to execute it, it was going to be amazing. Whether it was going to be a 5, 10, 15, it just looked like every play was designed for a real purpose. And let's not forget, Clint Kubiak, what was it? The first 2 games of last season with the New Orleans Saints, they scored over 80+ points in 2 games combined. So, and let's think about it this. Saints don't even have half the kind of talent on offensive side that we do. Let's just be honest. And they're still able to put up that many points. So I think with Clint Kubiak, with the players he has, it could be scary. Now, the biggest part is having that offensive line, right? And I think with Greg Zebel, I think hopefully they have now officially made him our left guard because Lord knows we need help on that left side of the offensive line. Boy, do our quarterbacks get eaten alive there. So I feel like for Greg, he needs to be that left guard. I think they finally made him officially a starting left guard to help out with Charles Cross because we need help. We need help on that side. And if we could just have our offensive line, and you know what, our offensive linemen, they look good. I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of pressure going at the quarterback, whether it was Drew or Jalen. I mean, a little bit, but again, I think it was solid. If our offensive line could just be just average, right? I mean, every Seattle Seahawks fan knows this. We have the offensive talent to succeed. It's just our line just needs to be average. I mean, we can't succeed with our offensive line being ranked number 28 out of 32 teams. If it's just like an average of like between 15 to 18, 19. If it's somewhere in that mix, I think our offense would be so much better. I truly, truly believe so. So for me, it's like as long as our linemen can just give our quarterback the average 4 seconds in the pocket, average. It's not like it needs to be the Detroit Lions or Philadelphia Eagles, right? Or even New England Patriots. It just has to be a solid offensive line. It just has to be. So I truly believe so. Like it could be a good offensive line, or even the Buffalo Bill, right? I mean, we talk about for Josh Allen, he doesn't have a whole lot of weapons, yet he has a great offensive line. So when we think about the Seattle Seahawks, if they could just work on their line, be average, I think Sam Darnold could have a hell of a year with the Seahawks, especially with the weapons at his disposal. If everybody stay healthy as well, I truly believe so. And when we think about our defense, right? There's not much I really need to say about our defense, especially from this preseason game. I think our defense is truly said. Everybody knows that our offense is the biggest question mark. Because we look at our defense, right? I mean, there's just too many great players to name out. But any Seahawks fan knows this, or even any fan of the NFL. If you truly pay attention to the Seahawks, we got a solid defense that can easily be a top five if we execute. Maybe even top three. Maybe even number one. You never know. Every season is different. But like top five is the standard. If we can go from high 20s to number 9 in one season and look at the players we have this season, you really don't think we could be a top five? I think we can. Like if we end up in the top 10, fine. I mean top 10 is cool, but top five is it should be what it is. I think we should be like a number 3, number 4 top defense. So for me, there's not much for me to say about the defense. I think our offense is the biggest question. Now moving forward into next week's preseason game on Friday against the Kansas City Chiefs at home again, which I'll be at that game, so I'll give you guys a nice little post-game interview what I have to say about it. I think going forward in that game, I think you should start Jalen Milroe. I think Drew Luck has proved to himself that he can still be a solid quarterback for us. Not amazing, just solid. So I think in the future, it needs to be Jalen Milroe. I think he needs to start the 2 to 3 quarters. If you want to put Drew Lock in the last quarter and a half, let's just say that quarter and a half, cool. But again, we're thinking Jalen is our future. Now, even though, yes, Sam Darnold, we signed to a 3-year deal, but let's be honest, with that deal, we can cut him anytime we want to, and it saves us money too. It doesn't hurt us financially too in the cap space. So if we really want to make Jalen our future, I think you should start him in the next game, especially against the Kansas City Chiefs as well. I mean, they got a solid defense too. So I think for against the Chiefs, start Jalen. Play him the first 2.5 quarters. See what he can really see what he could do in the beginning. Because it's everybody knows it's different when it comes to the first half and second half of the NFL. The intensity is different, the atmosphere is different, the player's mentality, everything's different. Because again, you're taking about like a 15 to 20 minute break in between. So everything changes. So maybe have him start in the first half to really see what he can get going in the beginning. Because you never know. Maybe he could be a stud in the first half. And then going into the second half, halfway through, he can still carry that momentum. So I think moving forward, have Jalen Milroe be the starter, right? Because again, I think Drew Luck has already proved himself already in that first half where it's like, yeah, he's good. He's solid. He's still Drew Luck. If he just works on the accuracy a little bit more, he's good. But for Jalen Milroe being a rookie, you got to play him just a little bit more. And make sure him and Torrey Horn kind of build a little bit more of a chemistry. Now, you want to build it with Sam Darnold. Maybe build a little bit more with Torrey Horn if we want to keep this guy in the future as well, because I think he could be a stud. I truly believe so. And when it comes to Sam Darnold, Play him in the last game. Play him the last game. Play him, I would say, the first quarter. Only because he's our starting quarterback. We do not need him to get injured. But I would just play him the first quarter of the game. Just first quarter. Or first series, right? But at least get him comfortable, at least him the feeling of like, hey, the NFL is right around the corner. 2025 season is coming. But still, I think Sam Darnold's going to be just fine. I think Jalen Milroe is going to be a stud future quarterback for us. I think Drew Luck has definitely locked it up for being our third string quarterback. I love what I saw from Torrey Horton. I really did. Elijah Rohr, a couple of nice plays, good blocking as a tight end, which, we need that because even though with AJ Barner, who I think can still be a stud for us, he needs to work on his blocking. But when you got a big guy like Elijah, I think he can really make up for that, right? Our run game looked decent. I didn't see a whole lot from Martinez, but, it is what it is. It's only the first preseason game. We got two more, right? Our defense, Nick didn't really play a whole lot, too. He had a couple explosive plays, but still, it's like, you know, I truly think that we're solid. I think that Clint Kubiak has something special waiting for us in the season. I truly believe so. I think Clint Kubiak's going to give this offense a new identity. I truly believe so. It's going to be very explosive, and every play is going to be with a purpose, whether it works or not. And I think Sam Darnold's going to be good. Jalen's going to be good. Drew's going to be good. Our defense is going to be rock solid. Offense, if our offensive line can just protect our quarterback, I can see our offense being a top 10, 100%, if they protect him and if they're average. If they're average in the NFL, we could be a top 10. So think about that. Having a top 5 defense and a potential top 10 offense, that rings a lot of bells for what the postseason could look like for us. And with that, I'm just going to leave it off. I hope everybody enjoyed that show. Make sure you stay tuned for every Monday, Saturday, Friday show. Hit that subscribe button, like the comment down below. And with that being said, we'll be back with more.